alleged airstrike on a busy market in the Tigray region. The 7-month-old conflict has escalated in recent days amid reports of rebel advances, while elections were held elsewhere in the country. The U.S. and the UN have called for an urgent investigation into the airstrike. Victoria Gatenby reports.
Relatives of the injured wait outside a hospital for news following the bombing of a busy market in the village of Togoga in Ethiopia's Tigray region. Some of the victims are brought here to the regional capital Mekelle, 30 kilometers away, but many more wounded are believed to be trapped in the village. Health workers say soldiers blocked medical teams from reaching the scene.
A lot of people were injured, but they didn't get medical service, and because of the blockage of the road by the military.
The US State Department called those reports credible and said in a statement that denying victims urgently needed medical care is heinous and absolutely unacceptable. We urge the Ethiopian authorities to ensure full and unhindered medical access to the victims immediately. The attack happened during some of the most intense fighting since the conflict between the army and Tigray regional forces began in November. It's not been confirmed who carried out the attack, but military analysts say evidence overwhelmingly suggests the Ethiopian Air Force is responsible.
There's frankly nobody else who could have done it. The Eritrean Air Force is not operating in the area. The Tigrayans have no Air Force. Who else could have done it? It must have been an Ethiopian jet. I don't think that will come as any surprise to anyone.
The UN has expressed deep alarm at the reports of violence and says it's pushing for access to the region.
The situation in the area remains very, very volatile. It's important that everyone engaged in fighting do their utmost to protect civilians, to obey international humanitarian law.
This conflict is now in its 8th month. Tigray opposition parties say more than 50,000 people have been killed, while the UN says more than 350,000 have been pushed into famine. Last week, the African Union launched an independent inquiry into alleged human rights abuses in the region after widespread accounts of massacres and sexual violence against civilians. This attack may well be added to the growing list of atrocities to investigate. Victoria Gatenby, Al Jazeera.
Journalist Samuel Getachew has recently been to Tigray. He says he was shocked by what people had told him.
From the cleaner that cleans your hotel to your driver and the people you meet are saying the same thing. Something is happening in the Tigray region without making any accusation of who's doing it. It's a shocking place. It's a shocking society. What's happening is really, really sad, and I can't even describe it in any other terms except to say things are happening in the Tigray region, and we are sad. I'm sad not as an Ethiopian, but as a human being. I have to say that the Tigray region has never been more open to us, the media, than before. There has been, there was an election in Ethiopia on Monday, and lots of media are heading to the Tigray region, speaking to victims without really making any accusation. What's happening in the Tigray region, in addition to what's happening